What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of We're All Going to the World's Fair. This film is directed by Jane Schoenbraun. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like any of these videos, awesome, hit that like button, as well as commenting below any video that you watch, including this one. So We're All Going to the World's Fair is a film that actually premiered at Sundance. I didn't have a chance to see it, even though I watched a lot of films at Sundance, just because it was just a very crazy schedule. And so this film is about a young girl named Casey, who's played by Anna Cobb. And she is what you would consider a very, I think, almost dejected, very lonely individual. Doesn't sound like she has a lot of friends. Her parents are constantly yelling at her. But she gets involved with this, I wouldn't consider it a fad game, but it's a horror RPG called We're All Going to the World's Fair. It basically is a game where you at first, cut your finger open and you bleed across the screen. There's a bunch of flashing lights and you say we're all going to the World's Fair like Beetlejuice 3 times. And with that said, she starts to inhibit symptoms that she hears about where she can't sleep and she starts acting crazy, all that good stuff. And then there's another individual that comes in the mix named JLB, who's played by Michael J. Rogers, who is trying to help her, trying to get her out of this game, so on and so forth. And what the story ends up becoming is much, much more darker than what I was ever expecting it to be. So with that said, and so I thought this movie was going to be about possession. I honestly thought it was going to be a movie about a young girl who finds this video game that has an evil entity that's going to possess her. It's going to make her do crazy and dangerous things. And no, that is not what this movie is about, because this movie is much more scary, it's much more horrifying, and much more dangerous. Why I say that? Because this movie is about a cautionary tale about how we view and use the internet. And on top of that, it's also about loneliness. So we'll talk about that as well. But what is fascinating about this movie is Casey is a very lonely person. She is a person that uses the internet all the time. And like a lot of people on the internet, as we've gotten in this day and age, myself, I get lonely, I look on the internet. She finds this video game where a lot of people have been doing. It's very much a fad. And she decides she's going to, involve herself with it. And she starts posting videos as everyone else does. And the funny thing about the movie is the videos are very widely different in how they're portrayed and how they use this movie to, or use this video game to portray themselves, and they all seem very lonely people. But why I say it's a cautionary tale, because this character JLB is a middle-aged man. You know where this is going. So as we've learned in today's society, and especially the internet age and how it is very connected and stuff like that, we find ourselves constantly talking to people. And this is, as a YouTube channel, I see this all the time, with commenters, with people we don't even know. People comment on, very negative things sometimes, very positive things. But when it comes to young individuals, especially young girls, young boys or stuff like that, they find themselves sometimes in places where they're being talked to by people that are not their age, people that are very unscrupulous, and we've heard stories about, pedophiles and stuff like that, and that's what this movie is trying to say. That's what this movie is trying to be a cautionary tale about. Not necessarily saying that's all it's about, because this is about, what it's like to be a very lonely person, a very depressed person, how we try to fit in a new world, fit in like our own world and stuff like that. We feel like we have to be part of something, and Poser was a lot like that too. But what makes it so crazy and so horrifying is she starts to engage with this JLB character. Yes, he seems like an individual that is not only lonely himself, but really feels like he's trying to help her. But the problem is he doesn't know why he's going too far, that he's taking it too far, too many steps too far. And there's a point in this movie where we see his wife in the background as he's watching her videos. And that's the other kind of crazy thing, is we are so kind of focused on TV and internet and culture in its own right, that when we are watching videos of young people, nobody really bats an eye about it. His wife never questions why he's constantly on the computer, and it's really crazy. It really is. And so all that said, this is a film that I completely regret that I didn't watch at Sundance, to be fairly honest. It's one of those films that really just kind of caught me off guard about how engaging it is, how well shot it is, how well thought out it is. You know, this is a film that feels very personable to, or very personal to Jane Schoenbraun. Maybe she experienced this, maybe it's something that she watched or she's been experiencing through internet culture and stuff like that. She really wanted to tell a story like that. But it's just a remarkable at first directorial effort from a director that I think has great potential in the future. And on top of that, Anna Cobb is going to be an interesting kind of up and coming actress as she moves along. She's already going to be in the next film from the director from Call Me by Your Name, and I think that's wonderful. I think if you're able to put out a film that really engages and really makes it very thought provoking, but it also makes it a horror film in a lot of aspects, and does it with such pizzazz and, you know, with such heartfelt kind of nature. And I was really impressed with this movie. Whether a lot of people think like that, I don't know, but I just think the fact that the director was able to just really tell an interesting tale about just being cautioned on the internet and stuff like that, as well as tell it into a very interesting, horrifying nature, is a win in my book. So I definitely give him a lot of credit. I give the director, the cinematographer, all the actors a lot of credit. You know, even the guy who plays JLB, like I said, even though he comes off as creepy in the movie, I think he does a fantastic job of portraying that character. And yeah, the one thing that I can definitely say is I also like how this film is shot. It uses a lot of, you know, from the computer angle. It also uses a lot of, you know, just following the girl around or the guy around a little bit, you know, just focusing on them. There's not very many actors or actresses in this movie. And it really feels authentic for what they're trying to do. So, but with that said, that's gonna be my take on We're All Going to the World's Fair. Highly recommended whenever it comes to HBO Max, which I think is next year maybe or something like that. So when it comes out, watch it. Give me your thoughts on it in the comments below. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Also in the comments below, what is your favorite film that has a very deep message, you know, maybe a little dark in its aspects, but a movie that made you think when it comes to like a horror film. So anyways, that'll do it. Thank you so much. And if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. And if you like any of these videos, awesome. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.